Today we will be talking about unit rate and constant of proportionality in proportional relationships when we're looking at tables and graphs. Okay, so unit rate is a rate per one of something, and constant of proportionality is the same thing, specifically when we're talking about proportional relationships. Okay. Okay, so if we are taking a look at these situations here, Misty is buying shirts for her doll that cost three for $5. So three shirts are $5. And we know how to fill out these tables by now. So when we are using these tables to find that constant of proportionality or that unit rate, we're going to find cost per shirt. Okay, well, it's $5 for three shirts. So how many or how much money is it for one shirt? Okay, and in order to find our unit rate, we just divide 5 divided by 3. And that is going to give you 1.66 repeating. Okay, and because we're talking about dollars, we are going to round to the nearest hundredths place, which this next 6 is going to tell this one to round up. So our constant of proportionality for this one is going to be $1.67 or $1.67 per shirt. This is our unit rate and our constant of proportionality, which would fall on our table. If we were to add 1 here to the table, we would have 1.67 there. Okay, so you can fill numbers in between these. Sometimes they're just not very pretty. Okay, you could write this as a fraction, although because we were talking about money, it doesn't necessarily make sense to do that, but that fraction would be 5/3. Okay, so in a table situation, it looks prettier probably to write it as a fraction, but in the context of our problem, because we're talking about money, it doesn't necessarily make sense to have a fraction. Okay, now this next one says each avocado has at the store costs 50 cents. Okay, well, it already tells us our per one cost. That's our unit rate, okay, is 50 cents per one avocado. So this is my constant of proportionality, this point when the avocados are 1. Okay, this is the unit rate and the constant of proportionality. All right. So if that point is already in your table, it's a little bit easier to find. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more examples. This one here is going to end up as a fraction as well. Bronk reaches into a box of colored pencils. In the box, there are 5 red pencils for every 4 blue pencils. Okay, well, if we're trying to figure out how many blue pencils per one red pencil, we are going to do blue pencils over red pencils is how many blue pencils per one red pencil. Okay, again, we are going to divide 4 divided by 5, and that it's going to give you a decimal of 0.8 or a fraction of 4/5. Okay, either one is totally fine, but your unit rate or your constant of proportionality would be 4/5. Okay. And last one we're going to take a look at, Maria can make 3 tortillas in 30 seconds. Okay, 3 tortillas in 30 seconds. So how many seconds would it take to make one tortilla? Will find us our unit rate or our constant of proportionality. So we have our fraction of 30 over 3. We could also use any of the other fractions available in your table. They're all going to simplify to the same thing. So if I wanted to use the 120 over 12, I could still figure out x over 1 is how many? Well, that's going to be 30 divided by 3 is 10. 120 divided by 12 is 10. So that means x is 10. It's going to take 10 seconds per tortilla. Okay, so your unit rate and your constant of proportionality is 10. Okay, there are two more for you to try that are tables. And then we're going to come down and take a look at the graphs. Okay, so when we are graphing these things, we are going to plot these points on our graph at 0, 0, 1, 7, 2, 14. Okay, and when we are looking for our constant of proportionality, that is going to be the point where it is per 1. So in a proportional relationship, it is the point where you see the 1. Okay, so this point right here is that constant of proportionality or that unit rate. Okay, same thing is going to be true on the next one because this is also a proportional relationship. Goes through 0, 0. The rate of change is the same. Okay, so my constant of proportionality or my unit rate is going to be right here at 1, 4. Okay, and when we graph that, it is going to be this point right here. Now, this is only true for proportional relationships. Okay, that constant of proportionality is only in proportional relationships. Okay, so it would be 4 here and it would be 7 here. Okay, that constant of proportionality is going to be, and there are two more here for you to try if you would like.